G'day everyone, welcome back to another video. Now, mass immigration has only got worse. We've just got some figures in and it is shocking. We had nearly 60,000 people come here in January alone, but that's nothing to February. February had nearly 100,000 people come here. That's nearly 3,500 people per day. Per day. And you wonder why inflation's rampant. You wonder why there's no houses. You wonder why crime's going through the roof. How can you vet 3,500 people, 3,400 people a day? It's impossible. Of a country our size, letting that many people in for votes, in my opinion, this is for votes, control the masses, because how could you let this many people in to a country that is already suffering and complaining about inflation while they're inflating the number of people coming into this country? And then setting up all these government jobs, because that's what's being made at the moment, government jobs, NDIS jobs that are screwing over the working class in Australia that actually contribute to society. When you're letting all these people in and absolutely destroying Australian culture. It's mass immigration to get votes, to get control. It's not a conspiracy theory to say that anymore. When you're letting in this many people into the country, it is out of control. It is absolutely madness, and the Labor government are not addressing this. They're actually supporting it by letting all these people in. They've even come out there over and over again. Check out my last few videos. How they do not think you should check where people come from. You should let everyone in. You can't discriminate against which country is coming into yours. That's what the Labor government MPs have been saying. On record. You can't check. You can't discriminate. Well, there's countries out there with different values, with different beliefs that actually hate Australia. Of course, you want to check them and vet them and, in my opinion, not let them in the country at all. Yet they let them in the country en masse for votes and control. And what else can you say? Like, we're in a housing crisis because they let so many people in. We're in an inflation crisis. A fuel crisis, everything, because our country isn't set up for this. An infrastructure crisis. People are dying on the streets in Australia because they're letting so many people in. I mean, comment down below if you've noticed that. If you've noticed the change over the last couple of years, where you look around and you wonder what country you're in. And it's nothing to do with a certain race. Obviously, there's people coming here that don't like Australia and they should not be here. And they don't want to assimilate, but that's not Labor's plan anymore. We've seen over and over and over again, it's not about assimilation anymore. It's about multiculturalism. Accepting them and changing for them. Australians come second. The Uni Party has been pushing this for control, for votes. And that's why One Nation is rising, because they can see what's happening to Australia. It's destroying us. It's happening all over Europe, England, everywhere. And we don't want to end up like that. We're getting like that. How many times have you seen on the news every single day someone with a machete, someone doing this, out on bail, attacking everything? It's just non-stop. And I am sick of it. As an Australian, I am sick of this. People all around Australia can see this, yet they vote for Labor still. It makes no sense. But now they know people have woken up. We're joining together in communities like this and speaking up. And that's why now they're ramping up the immigration to stay in power. It is sick and it's destroying Australia just for power. They want that net zero while they import projected to be like 500,000 this year alone. They're trying to say like, oh no, it's going to go down. It's going to be about 250,000. How? When you've let in 150,000 or more in 2 months? Not even including March. How can you say it's only going to be 250,000? What Australian is stupid enough to believe that this level of immigration is sustainable? Left or right? This isn't a left or right issue anymore. This is an issue of survival of Australia. Because this country is going to be completely destroyed by Labor if they keep up on this trajectory. And they don't care. They do not care as long as they stay in power. They don't care that we get chucked into this inflation crisis, this housing crisis, crime crisis. Everything is a crisis under Labor. And then they want to blame stuff going on overseas and try and take everyone's attention away from that. Oh, look at our oil refinery burnt down. Look how bad fuel is. Focus on that. Not focus on that Australia is getting eroded and our culture is getting replaced for power. To stay in power, the Labor government. And it is shocking. And that's why People have always come here for a better life. They've come here to be Australian. They have not come here for the multicultural, set up my own culture, get my whole own suburb with all the benefits from the working class of Australia, and they have to change for us. That's never been the case. But now Labor tries to frame you as racist if you want Australia to be Australia. I don't want 1 million Australians to go to Japan and say, you need to change for us. That's just stupidity. I wouldn't go to Africa and say, you need to change for my culture. That's stupidity. That is not the way countries work. Countries have always had that culture and heritage and pride. And people that have come to Australia, we've always welcomed them because they've wanted to come here to build Australia. Now the Labor government has opened the border to countries that do not like Australia, do not have the same values as us, and clearly come here for the benefits and to use us. And it's happened over and over again. And Labor welcome it in. They welcome it in. They ignore the crime. They ignore the inflation. They ignore the working class suffering. They don't care as long as they stay in power. I've seen this, and Australians are speaking up. We are speaking up. The silent majority is coming up. That's why One Nation is now the second preferred party. Because they know the Uni Party isn't doing anything for change. They haven't done anything. Nothing's changed. It's only gotten worse. Comment down below if you've noticed in the last few years how much has changed, how much harder it's got. What do you think the real cause is? Not enough to go around? Country not set up for it? I wonder why. Why the rich get richer, the working class get poorer? Why this happens? It's madness. The crime, the housing, not being able to get a park in the shops, not being able to get food, not being able to drive on the freeways. It's just getting out of control in Australia. And I know you can see it, left or right, you can see what's happening to this country. And if you keep voting for Labor, you're selling out the Australian culture, and there won't be an Australia left anymore. And it's going to be like England, like Europe, where it's a complete disaster. It's nearly civil war on the streets. So I wanted to touch on this because I think it's a really important issue to bring up. What's really happening in Australia? And we need to address it. It's not racist to say that a country can't handle this when you can't even get an ambulance now because of the mass immigration. You can't get a house. That's not sustainable. It's out of control. But comment down below what you think. I'd love to know your opinion. Join to be a member if you want to support my message. It means a lot to me. But let's keep speaking up for Australia and get the message out there that we need to preserve our culture and not let the Labor government destroy us.